Hey there, welcome to the second video of building the cupcake game. So in the last video we have imported these two folders, the images and the sound, and we have also initialized this HTML file. We have added a canvas and we have started the script tags. So in this video we are going to continue with building this game, and we are going to load all the different resources and also get a reference to the canvas. So as always, I will create a new file, and in Notepad++ to create a new file you just press Ctrl+N, and here I will just copy and paste everything from the last file, and I will save it with the name cupcake2.html. So now let's just first get a reference to the canvas. Okay, we got a reference to the canvas, and now we are going to load all the resources. Now before we load that, let me just tell you why do we want to load the resources. So previously when we have built those different games like the Snake or the Breakout, then we used the inbuilt object of the JavaScript, right? So we have drawn rectangles, we have drawn circles, and those are the things that we have drawn using JavaScript, isn't it? But here we are loading images that are not from JavaScript, that are not native, that are from external sources. So whenever your game starts, you need to make sure that all the different resources that you are going to need in the game are already loaded. So what I'm going to do here is I will load all the resources, and when all the resources have been loaded, only then we can continue with the game, right? So first I will create objects for all the different images. So start with catcher1. Similarly I will have 4 different catchers, and these catchers are simply the different animations of our character, and we have to load all the images for all the 4 different animations. And then we need a background image. We need an image for blood. This is the image that is going to be displayed when the game is over. We need the tile images on which the catcher will stand. And finally we need the cupcakes, right? So I'll just call it food. So these are the different images that we are going to need, and now let's write the condition to check whether the images have been loaded or not. So we will start with background. And after we have written this function, we will just set the source of background to images/background.jpg. Now I think it's JPEG. This is JPEG. So this is the image that we are loading over here. And this onload function simply means that when this image background has been loaded, then you do all the stuff that's written inside of it. So here I'm going to do one thing is, when this background image has been loaded, then I will load another image, and when that image is loaded, I will load another image, and like that I will just load all these images, and inside of the onload function of the last image that we write over here, we will write all the logic of the game. So you will just see what happens. So after we have loaded the background, next we are going to load the blood. And similarly we would have to set the source for the blood, and as you can see, blood has a blood.png. So this one is for catcher 1. Well, so we have loaded all the different images, right? So we started with the background image, then inside of that we have written the blood.onload function, and then when both the background and blood have been loaded, we have written the onload function for catcher 1, then for catcher 2, the catcher 3, and up to tile we have pretty much nested all the different onload functions. So inside of this final tile.onload function, we are going to write our game. So this is our game area. So all the code that we are going to write for the game, like the start game function or the different events to control the catcher or the main update function of the game, everything will be inside of this. And the reason this is going to work is because whenever all these images have been loaded, the control will just go inside of this function. And that's why it's better to have the complete game inside of this. So rather than calling it a game area, let me just put something into the console to find out whether we have loaded all the images or not. So I'll call here loaded, and let's just run it. So this is our cupcake 2. Well, it should not contain anything in the canvas. And we have this loaded, right? So we have successfully loaded all the different images to our game, and in the next video we are finally going to get started building the game. So that's it, and I will see you in the next one.